So in this video, I'm going to tell you the biggest mistake that introverts are making that is killing your social gains. It's making you look more awkward in conversation. It's making you feel weird in conversation. And I promise you, once you know about this mistake, once you stop doing it, you're going to feel a lot better in conversation and people are actually going to start like respecting you and wanting to like be your friend and actually talk to you. Now, this is super important. I get a say in this because I'm someone who was once labeled the most quietest kid in school. And because of that, I experienced the death sense of having awkward conversations, sitting alone, being alone, not knowing what to say in conversation. And so I experienced all of this, and it got to a point where I was just like, you know what? Social and communicative skills, this is like the most important thing. You can't do anything in life if you don't have these skills. So, because of this, right, I started doing tons of research, thousands of hours of watching videos, reading books, observing experimentation. And because of this, I learned lots of things that helped me and lots of things that didn't help me. But let me tell you something. Here's the most important thing. The reason why I'm telling you this is because there was a tip that everybody says that it's the best way to improve your social skills. But in reality, I don't think it's that. I feel like you need to master this, right? This is a mistake that most people are making. And I noticed that when I stopped doing this tip as much as people said that I should be doing it, I noticed that I felt a lot better in conversation. People want to talk to me more. And overall, it just improved and skyrocketed my conversations. And this tip that I'm going to tell you, right, is smiling less in conversation. Now, I know that sounds super weird, right? You might be like, oh, you're supposed to laugh, you're supposed to be friendly, right? But I'm going to explain all this to you and why this is a big mistake, right? That's literally killing your social gains. And by the way, before I explain this, top link in the description, there's a community that basically allows you to get one on one access to me. I teach you exclusive videos on YouTube, stuff that I don't post on here to really improve your social confidence. So check that in the description below. Like I was saying, the biggest mistake that introverts are making in conversation are smiling. And I'm going to explain this, right? So I remember there was this one time, right, that me and a buddy of mine during freshman year university, we went to this core scholar event. This was an event where we could meet people that had our scholarship, people just to meet people and get friends in university, right? And there was this one guy, me and my buddy, we approached, and his name was Tommy. Now, Tommy was a super cool guy, right? We started talking to him about lots of things. We started talking about sports, music. We started talking about events on school. And after that conversation, I enjoyed the conversation with Tommy. And my friend that was with me enjoyed it too. But something that my friend came up to me really stood out to me. My friend was like, bro, Tommy, you ever notice that he was always smiling in conversation? Even during the serious things, he was always smiling. And, I understood this because I know how that was, right? And I was just like, you know what, bro, Tommy, he was probably just excited, he was just trying to be hyped up in conversation. But the reason why I'm telling you this is because I look back at this now and I realized that Tommy was smiling excessively to the point where it was unauthentic. It looked awkward. It looked like he was hiding something. And that's the mistake that introverts are making. Because I also made this mistake as well, where I thought, okay, if I'm always smiling, if I'm always laughing, right, people are going to get my respect. People are going to think that I'm some extrovert. But in reality, it does the opposite. Now, here's the thing, I'm not saying don't smile. I'm not saying don't smile at all. Please smile if you're saying hi to someone or saying bye to someone, or if you're making a joke or if something's funny, right? I want you to smile. But here's the thing, this is where my controversial advice comes from, right? I believe that if you're not saying hi or bye to someone, if the conversation on the topic is not funny, you should not be smiling. And I'm explaining why, right? So there's this social skills coach called Vanessa Van Edwards. She says that the best communicators in the world are easily able to switch between a driver's seat and a passenger seat. Okay, so we have the driver's seat, right? The driver's seat is going to be someone who can dominate the conversation, lead the conversation, right? Ask the questions. The passenger seat on the other side is someone who listens, okay? The passive, okay? A good conversationalist can switch between either or. So a good conversation and a good friend is going to be able to listen to you, right? They're listening to you, they're able to passively, they're going to be listening to you. But that good friend is also able to dominate the conversation, ask the questions, say statements. And This concept that Vanessa Van Edwards teaches, this really certified social skills coach, this applies to smiling as well. I believe that you should, I believe in my experience that I've seen, that the most charismatic guys are not afraid to give a serious face. Because if you're smiling all the time, right, it looks like you're hiding something. It's just one thing. You kind of get sick of the smile. Your smile is something that you should show every now and then. Sprinkle it here and there. You don't want to overwater it. And so this is what I was explaining with the whole Tommy situation. That's what I saw. So what you want to do is that you want to be able to switch between the driver's seat and the passenger seats when smiling. You want to be able to know when to smile and when not to smile. And this is probably going to take some time. You're going to have to like be really observant and experiment with this. But watch this real quick, okay? Imagine every single one of my videos, I'm always smiling. I'm always smiling no matter what. I'm having a good time. I'm being positive, right? But even during the very serious moments, I'm always smiling. Doesn't that get kind of tiring to watch, right? It's almost as like, is this guy making a joke? Should I be laughing? Why is he always smiling, right? It's unauthentic, and that's the problem. But imagine, right? Imagine I'm saying something funny right now and I look absolutely ridiculous, right? But when it comes to like certain things, serious things, I'm able to look serious. I'm able to like explain myself with a neutral face, a serious face. Which one do you think is going to get more respect? Which one look more natural? Obviously, the second time, right? When I stopped smiling. And then, when something's funny, you can smile again. But then when it comes to something serious or when you have to think about something, you think about it and you don't smile. So this is the whole thing. Experiment with this a lot. Smiling does not improve your conversation. It does not make you 100% more likable, but you need to know when to use it. You don't want to overflow it, but you want to also use it in times where it's crucial, like funny moments. So definitely get used to that. Know when to smile, practice smiling, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.